What's going on, y'all? In this video I want to talk about when you're fit you don't fumble as much. Okay, so what I'm talking about, I was thinking about NFL starting up soon, right? And I'm a real big Eagles fan, and I was thinking about how, like, in sports, football especially, the big thing is to protect the rock. Always protect the ball. That's the most important thing on the field. And I was associating that with real life. Us as men, women too, if you watch my channel as well. But, like, in a sense of protecting what is important to us, protecting our essence, our masculinity, you know, um, our natural born capabilities and things like that. And a lot of us, I feel like, don't ever really tap into this. We don't really ever tap into this level, this version of ourselves. So we don't even know what it means to protect it, what it means to maintain it. But also, what I mean when I say when you're fit, you don't fumble as much, I mean it on, like, a basic level. Like, you don't fumble throughout your life anymore as much, in a sense of with women. Not saying you get every woman, but what I'm saying is you put yourself in better opportunities with women, with jobs. You set yourself up for success a bit more when you're fit. You open more doors for yourself when you're fit, when you're in shape. And not just because you have muscles, your physical does speak for you, I will say that. But also there's some things that you develop in the gym that, like life skills, they pour out into the world. Your discipline, your routine, your dedication to yourself. That says a lot of just when people see you when you enter a room. People know that it takes a lot of work to be able to maintain a certain physique. Okay, so like I said, it's not just about the physical, it's about those other characteristics that bleed over into your life, and these help you, like, not fumble so much. You start to develop that relationship with yourself where you know yourself a bit more. I feel like when you don't know yourself, like me, when I was in my 20s, hell, most of my life, until fairly recent here, the last 6-7 years, but, like, I would fumble a lot too. It's a part of learning as well, though, obviously, right? It's a part of life and maturing, messing things up, right? You're not going to always get it right. But I just feel like when you work out and you kind of tap into your natural born God-given strength, that does something to your mindset. It takes you from here to here because you start to experience, like, what you're actually capable of. And there's something happens when a man knows that he is stronger than the next man. When I know, like, I could probably live, not even like in a judgment comparison type of way. It's just like, yo, I know what I can do. Back when I was eating one time a day and wasn't working out, was super skinny, I didn't know what I could do. I didn't know what I was capable of. Well, let me stop. Let me go back and rephrase that, because I had worked out at times in my life before. I have experienced lifting weights, and that's why I always came back to it. So don't let me say like I was just always super. I've had spurts and pockets throughout my life where I lifted weights, had some decent size on me and stuff like that. But for the most part, there were times I was waiting tables, drinking a lot. That's when I was, like, eating the one time a day, just kind of in party mode. And I was in that for a lot of my life too. So that's what I mean. When you're fit, you don't fumble as much, like, because you start to develop a knowing of yourself too. When you're in the gym, you develop a knowing of who you are. I keep going back to the word capabilities. You start to know what you're capable of. But when you're fit physically and mentally, when you're mentally fit, right, you don't fumble as much because you kind of come together in a way of where you know your physical strength, but you also know your mental strength, your mental game, your mental capabilities too. Like, I know last time I stepped there, that didn't really work for me. You know what I mean? Or I know that if I go hang out over here and do all that, that's gonna mess up the workout flow tomorrow. And not to say you have to be so rigid and be so robotic. At times you need to live, play, have some fun, man. Go hang out with the homies, you might be out late. Do it every once in a while. But for the most part, when you start to develop that routine, you don't fumble anymore. You don't fumble through life because you have like better habits too. Your habits start directing you. And for example, like, you start eating better, you start sleeping better, or sleeping more. And these things help you to not fumble. That's what I'm saying. They help you create better opportunities for yourself. When you're the guy who's rested, when you're the guy who's strong, when you're the guy who's nourished, I know it may sound crazy, right? But when you're that guy, you stand out a bit. Another point I wanted to make is you don't fumble your responsibilities, man. That's what I'm trying to say too. Like, you don't fumble as much. It's almost like you're not going through life with like a cloud around your head, like you just trying to figure it all out. Yeah, we all still trying to figure it out to a degree. I'm 42, but you start to develop more of a plan, more of a internal compass for yourself to allow you to learn how to to learn how to lead yourself. That's what I mean, like getting fit, working out, taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental. It gives you like a centerpiece to always come back to always lead you. So as long as you're leading yourself properly, you don't fumble as much. You're not stumbling your way like as much. Okay, it is gonna happen, like I said. But yeah, man, I know I said, you don't fumble women. Yeah, you're still gonna mess that up too. But like I said, you're gonna get more opportunities. You're gonna get more situations to learn how to like protect the rock, protect how you show up, protect who you are, protect your authenticity, your integrity. You don't fumble it as much. You don't get knocked off your square so much. That's what I mean. You fumble when you get knocked off your square, when you're overreacting, when you're acting in ways you don't want to act. That's fumbling. That's what I'm saying. When you get fit, you start to know yourself a bit better. Not to say that you're not going to have an overreaction to things. It still will happen, but you improve your awareness, man. You improve your connection with who you are. You build a better relationship with yourself overall. So you start to learn yourself more, so that you see how you show up in different facets of your life. Emotionally, when you're in a relationship, at work, how you handle your coworkers, how you interact with your children if you have kids. That's what I'm saying. When you're fit physically and mentally, you don't fumble so much in those different arenas. Okay? We still got to learn, we still got to evolve, and we still got to be better, but that's what I mean. All right, so hopefully that made sense. If you're getting any value out of this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more videos just like this. I didn't want to make this too much of a lengthy video. This was just a thought that just came to my head, so I just grabbed the camera real quick. Hopefully it's making sense. Y'all leave me some comments, let me know. But ultimately, yeah, man, when you're fit, you don't fumble as much, man. You don't just stumble through life as much as you would if you don't tap into that stronger, more capable version of yourself, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. If y'all enjoyed this one, make sure you check out this one right here on the screen. YouTube thinks you'll like this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.